Hi, this is a transformation tutorial for the newest version of Printformers Prime, and this is version 3, and I will showing you how do you transform this version. As you can see, he is now in his robot mode. This version is my test version, so some joints may be be more loose than they are supposed to, because I am testing a lot of things on this one. As you can see, he is holding his weapons. And there is a new addition. There's this small panel here, and you can, when you can rotate it, it will be red on the usual version. Here it is brown because just this is a test version. So if you are not using it, you can rotate it down, and it does not. And here is how it looks rotated down, and it does not affect the whole arm articulation. There's also new arm articulation. You can now extend the fist like this, and it will give you some more movement options for some expressions like this. And the default state is like this, slide in. So let's remove the second one. Rotate the panel, and here is Optimus without his weapons. And here is how he looks from the back. And there are optional panels to cover his back, but they are not on this version, and there's a separate video to show how they work. For this I choose not to use them. Okay, so let's begin the transformation. First you need to open those windows. You need to grab this part and just rotate it open. Secondly, you have to move those panels like this, so you have more movement options. Now you have to slide this whole section back, and as you can see, this part may rise slightly, and then you just rotate everything like this. If you have trouble with this movement, make sure that the arms are far apart so there is room. After rotating this section like this, you just use those slots to close everything. And now you can rotate this like this, and we can leave it for now. Now we can rotate him to the back again, and you can lift those panels and rotate them like this. If this part is obstructing them, you can just slightly pull this out, rotate them, and pull this back because it has some room to move. And same on this. As you can see, this one is not obstructing, but you can slide it back in. Okay, now we rotate the fists like this, and we move it like this. So there are double hinges, and then you can push this in slightly. If it will come out of alignment right now, do not worry, because we will sort it out later. And now we rotate this part, rotate it like this and like this. So if I raise this, you can see we have this shape. There is a locking point over here, so you may need to use a bit of force to unlock it. You can see there's a tab, and we rotate it like this, and we have this shape, and there are two pegs here that you can slide together, and we have something like this. Now we can rotate this down, and we have the roof. And if it's out of alignment right now, do not worry, like I said, we will fix it. Now for those two panels, they are on a double hinge, so you just rotate and push, and they should lock into place. Same place here. Then this is a unique version because it has some screws here. The normal will have plug-in wheels. This is just a thing I was testing. And we can just rotate it like this, and okay, so we have the front of the car. Now, as you can see, this part has slight movement like this, and it can rotate, but it gives you it's hard to rotate past this point, and that's because it is locked when it's pushed all the way down. So you have to raise it slightly, so like this, and as you can see, it now moves freely. This also gives you some additional like movement here, but let's just, for now let's just lock it, because we don't want it to interfere with our leg transformation. And for the leg transformation, rotate those parts slightly. You need to pull on this to unlock this whole section, because without this there are tabs that hold the entire leg together. So it's important to pull this out to unlock this section. Now we can rotate this to this point, and this allows us to slide that part and rotate it like this and slide it all the way, and we can leave it like this for now to help with balance. Same with this, unplug it, rotate it, slide it, and so we have something like this. For those heel parts, rotate them here, and we have something like this. And now those two parts can rotate, and they will allow you to plug this whole section and lock them. As you can see, they are a bit wobbly, but that's okay for now. And this is a new part. This is a trunk version. Those parts are supposed to be gray. In this version they are brighter, but they will work the same. So we have to rotate this whole section like this, so that the tab is visible. Also rotate this section like this. And now for this part here, we have to rotate this part, so it's the other way around. And now because this is on a moving hinge, you can just wiggle it like this, so this is behind this. Same with this version. So now, as you can see, this goes inside, and we can just slide everything down. Do not go all the way down, because you may want to adjust it later. Now we can go back to this section again, unplug it, and we can rotate everything down. And the first thing that you should do is to slide this down. So there is a opening here that will allow it to lock, to slide like this. There's one thing I forgot to mention. To have more clearance when closing this door, you can also slide in those panels. If you position the arms like this, you'll be able to slide them back, and this can help you to lock this part easier, because this will not interfere. So now when they are like this, it should be easier to lock everything. I don't think it's super necessary, because you can do it without this, but it will help you to lock everything. Now, if you have this aligned, you can see if this part is reaching this edge. If not, you can just move everything slightly to the front. And on this part, let's just help ourselves like this. Okay, so it's all the way here, more or less. We will adjust that later. So it's like this, and now we need to plug those two sections together. And let's see if we can do that on camera. Okay, so they are now plugged in together, and we just need to wiggle everything to its place. Make sure that the wheels are all the way down. Also, those two sections align like this. And here you have Optimus in his alternative mode. And as you can see, this is how he looks. You can slide his guns over here they may be a bit stiff on this version, but you can do it. So like this. Here's Optimus with his weapons, and I will quickly transform him back to his robot mode to show you how it's done. So open up this, you can rotate those two parts back. Okay, this is best to move it past those two sections so it doesn't interfere. Now close this, move this entire section up, make sure that it's can move slightly, move front to the front and to the back, and make sure it's when you slide it down, make sure it's all the way like this, and slide it down, and now it's locked. We can now move those parts down, separate the legs, move those parts here. Remember that you can only slide this when those two parts are aligned, so now we can use this and slide it. So I'm sliding it all the way down. Same with this. Takes a bit of practice, but you can do it. And now to lock the leg, remember that those parts, it's best that if they are at an angle, because it gives more room to the leg. So when the leg is like this and it's all the way up, as you can see there are tabs here, and we can close it and push this down, and this thing can pop off. It's designed so it pops off instead of breaking off, so on this section it can just pop off. And now on this leg you can rotate it back, and this leg, let's do it again. This, make sure that it's on an angle, close, and if it's all aligned it should lock. And something is obstructing, let me check. Or no, it's just the angles were wrong. Okay, so we have this. Now rotate this and rotate it back. And that's my cat, sorry about that. So let's pause for a bit. Okay, so now we need to separate those arms, rotate them on those double hinges like this. Same here, just move them like this and like this, and let's move this up so it doesn't interfere. Now we can move the arms down and rotate them like this and like this. Let's open this part here, rotate this section, rotate this, make sure to lift so that this goes all the way, and now we can align everything and lock this again. And make sure to push back on this, because this window may come out of alignment, so that it is flat. And now this is how this section should look. And now we just need to unplug those panels and move them to the back like this. Okay, and just those two shoulder covers. And like I said, you can slightly extend those guns if they give you trouble. So here is Optimus back in his robot mode. And this was transformation of version 3.